Love it.
All right, let's do this.
All right. Good morning, everybody. And I guess it's good day to whatever time of day you're listening to this. I'm Amanda, a host on the Divas That Care Network. And today I have the opportunity to welcome back the beautiful Dawn Taylor. And she's a previous diva on our show. And her episode, her first one, is incredible. And this is going to dovetail off that beautifully. And if you have not heard her first show with us, I really encourage you to go back in and listen to it. If you want to laugh and have fun and really just have a different perspective on the challenges that you go through in everyday life, it just gives you a new view. And so today I would like to welcome Dawn. And Dawn, if you would like to share with us a little bit, a brief tidbit of your story, because I know that people can go back and listen to the full, kind of a little bit history of your story, but, you could share a little bit with us and then kind of where you're going today. I know we talked about a book in the works last time that I should write, and now exciting that, it's happening and it's happened. So I'm excited. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here. So a little bit about myself. I was talking to a guy this morning, and one of the statements I made, he's like, one sentence, sum up your life. And I said, beautifully horrific and horrifically beautiful. And he started laughing, and he's like, that could be the most loaded statement I've ever heard. And that really sums it up, though. I have been through anything and everything you could possibly imagine, from abandonment of a parent, death of a parent, suicide attempts where I actually died and they revived me, brain aneurysm at 17, loss of identity, sexual abuse, broken back, like literally, and infertility. Like, this is a piece of it. I'm not even touching on all of the parts of it. And it's been nuts. It's been an absolute crazy roller coaster life. And at the same time, it's been absolutely beautiful. And I've managed to heal so many parts of me and who I am and what I'm about. And with that, people watching started to ask if I could help them heal themselves as well. Help them figure out why they were self-sabotaging and why they couldn't deal with their own garbage. And so I have a very strategy-based coaching practice. I do a very interesting mix, and I think this has even changed since last time we chatted, is I do a really interesting mix of personal, business, and trauma. And so the majority of my clients, not all, but the majority of my clients are people that have had some sort of crazy trauma in their life, whether abuse, abandonment, rape, parental stuff, it doesn't matter what, bullied, it doesn't matter the level of the trauma, just that something happened that at one point in their life, there was a pivot. Do you know when those circumstances happen and you're like, and my path just shifted and I took a detour from where I thought it was going to go. And so any of those little pivot points, those connecting dots, a lot of these people have now become control freaks, because their control was taken away at some point, which makes them really bad employees because they're control freaks and they micromanage and they don't want to listen to anybody. But then what happens with that is they either get bumped up into upper management because they're already bossing everybody around. And yes, if this is triggering you right now, I'm talking about you. Or they to say, screw the world to become entrepreneurs. And so I realized that my niche, I love people, but if I was to say like my ideal client of who I work with are entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs that want to build a business, start a business, hate the job that they're in, something, and they have these bullshit limiting beliefs that are holding them back. And they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to have someone ask how it makes them feel. They don't want rah vision boarding. They're like, no, give me a plan of attack, give me strategies, tell me what to do. Like, I just need results. And that's kind of where my niche has fallen. So I work with a ton of men, which always surprises people. I think this week I had like 3 women and 17 guys in my client roster. Like, crazy amounts of men, and every week is different. But yeah, it's really just helping people get where they want to go, and in a very strategy-based way. And yeah, so I get to use my crazy life to help them. And one of the reasons I believe I can get people the results I do is that I've been there. Right? So when I'm dealing with an ex-addict and they're struggling so hard with the control, I can be like, yes, I get it. I've been there. When I'm dealing with someone who's struggling with worth and connecting to females because of infertility, I can step into their shoes and be like, honey, I've been there, right? Like, this is like what you're going through. You don't actually have to use all the words. You don't have to explain it to me. You don't have to describe it to me, because I've been there. Now let's just get you where you want to go. And so, yeah, I'm a happily married wife of 1,018 years. No, 23 years. I've been with my husband. And he just thinks I'm crazy, and he's so proud of me. And yeah, just living life.
That's awesome, Dawn. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so last time we spoke, you were talking about your incredibly awesome trip to Tennessee. That was totally planned.
Not at all.
Right?
Yeah.
Insert eye roll here, right?
Yes. Heavy quotations on that.
Right? And so, and then you were talking about the book that you had written your story down in a lot of different little books just to kind of get your story out. Yeah. And then the possibility of creating a book. And how is that going since last time we spoke?
It is done. Yay! So last fall, I was talking to a client, and he really challenged me. And he was like, Dawn, he goes, you share so much of your story to the point of like printing chapters and giving them to clients to give to people to help them understand them better. And so to backtrack a little bit about my book, I'm actually telling my entire story for the first time ever.
Wow.
So my own siblings, my family, my closest friends are actually going to learn about me for the first time ever, which is terrifying, by the way, and bringing along its whole own set of emotions right now. But I'm not just writing vague stories about what happened to me. I'm coming at it from a place of like, I've actually healed from all of these things. I've actually gone through to the depths of the hell on all of these things. So when I write about being sexually abused, or I write about infertility, I don't just write struggled with infertility, tried these things. It's like, no, this is how it went down. This is what went, like how it all happened. These are the conversations. These are, right? Like I'm going into the absolute detailed depths of every single trauma that's happened to me. But then I'm not just leaving it there and talking about like, now I'm doing amazing. It's like, no, this was my journey from then till now. So I write about how many times I failed. I write about how many things I tried. I write about how it affected me mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to someone this morning, and they said, what's the craziest thing you've ever said in a conversation that had someone like sit back and go, whoa. And I laughed. I was like, how long do you have? And he goes, no, but even around your book, like what is possibly going to be the most shocking? And I said, one statement that I've said to more than one person. And he goes, what's that? And I said, the exact same sensual nerve endings are there whether you're being raped and abused or you're having beautiful sex with someone you love. And he just about spit out his coffee. He was like, I've never thought of that. And I said, yeah. So you want to know why people that have been sexually abused struggle so much in those areas of their life? And that doesn't just magically go away. But these are things no one talks about. And so, I am in a book that's coming out on October 20th. Right? So I'm actually really digging into the depths of it and then going, okay, so this was my journey healing. And yeah, you know what? I crushed it for a long time, and then I completely fell apart and crashed again. And then this is the thing that I used to pull myself back out of the depths of that hell again. And then, oh yeah, by the way, I'm human, so I crashed again. And then, right? So I'm really like talking about that aspect of it, because that's the part that this guy was talking to me about last fall. Was he's like, Dawn, you're doing people a disservice by not sharing this with people. He said, because all of my years, all of the books I've read, all of the self-help stuff I've done, all of the therapy, he goes on to the place of saying the things that everyone's afraid to say. He's like, when you told me your story, I felt heard and seen and understood for the first time ever.
Oh, wow.
He's like, you need to write this. And so I gave myself a deadline and proceeded to finish it. And so I have worked with editors and a publisher, and yeah, it's called P.S. I Made It.
Oh, I love that.
So thank you. It's called P.S. I Made It, because it doesn't matter how crazy your story's been, how much you think your story's over. If you were a child of the 80s or 90s and you wrote a handwritten letter, you know that there were always little PSs at the end, because you were like, love, Dawn. Oh, P.S. the boy at school looked at me. P.P.S. I did this cool thing the other day, right? And we kept doing that. And that was such a part of who we were back then. And people just think that when their story's done, it's done. And I want everybody to believe that it's a P.S. I can make it too. There's always another ending. There's always another chapter. It's not done till you're in the grave. And even then, someone can use your life and your story to do amazing things with. And so, yeah, P.S. I Made It. Tickets are going up for sale today. It'll be on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, my website. It'll be up later this week. It'll be on Eventbrite. It's going to be a fundraiser for Little Warriors as well. But yeah, I finally finished it and I wrote it.
Tickets for what, Dawn?
So I'm planning a wedding. No, this is what people keep bugging me about. So I decided that instead of just doing a book reading in a store or in that sort of thing, or just having like a little event, I actually wanted to create a space where I could meet a ton of people. I could see a ton of people that I love and adore, but they could all see each other and meet each other as well. And in somewhere that's really beautiful and healing and just a really special location. So I rented out the Whitewood Barn, which is an event space about 10 minutes from the Edmonton airport. It's this beautiful acreage out in the country that is where high-end weddings take place. And I rented it. And so I have a florist who is a childhood friend coming up from Red Deer for Calyx Floral, Calyx Floral. And we're doing like the big hexagon arch with like huge flowers, and there's centerpieces and displays, and there's gonna be photo booth areas. So people can like Instagram the crap out of it. They can take all the beautiful family photos this fall that they want to put in their Christmas cards, because we're setting it all up for them to do it. We're gonna, because why not? And I love flowers. And she's one of my original people. She was one of my best friends all through high school. And so it's a really cool thing that I get to bring her back into my life now at this point, and she gets to be there. And she's a phenomenal florist. Look her stuff up. I have a professional photographer, Christina Louise Branding Photography, coming out to do event photography for the day, to snap photos of people and their families if they want. So that I can send everyone these gorgeous photos after, and everyone's laughing at me. We're going to have seating areas. We're going to have little comfort zones. I have to give a speech, supposedly. I don't know. We'll discuss that the day of if I do. I've been told I have to do a reading and get up and say thank you. We're going to have a few just like really, really quick so it's not all about that. I'm going to be there to meet everybody and sign books and just love on people. And we're going to have snack stations like food. There's going to be a cash bar. So yeah, we're creating like a candy bar and a chocolate bar and a chip bar and a veggie bar and a s'mores bar and all of this.
It's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, no, it's like a full event. Like it's a huge, big thing. It's going to be so fun. And then one of the cool things we're doing as well is it's a really like healing place, like the location itself and being outside in nature. And so we're going to create a special zone somewhere on the property where we're going to have a special box with postcards, and it's going to be the secrets box. And so what we want is for people to write either what their secret is that they're wanting to heal at some point in their life, but totally anonymously, or something about themselves that they are so proud of that they healed. If they put their address on it, I don't even need a name, but if they're willing to put their address, I'm actually going to handwrite every single one of them after, to just either be like, way to go, I'm so damn proud of you, or, you know, here's some resources. Let me just love on you and encourage you to actually finally overcome this, so that it's a really cool event for people in that way. We're going to have music and patio lights and fire pits and lawn games. And yeah, it's a Sunday afternoon from 2 to 6. So that people could grab like a group of girlfriends and come out, friends, family. I know a lot of my clients are coming and they have people that they want to meet me, right? And they're like, I'm bringing all my friends that need coaching. so it'll just be a really cool thing. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
That's fantastic.
Oh, and a big photo booth that like prints your photos immediately, the online pictures and props, so people can like have fun doing that. Yeah, it's insane.
That's awesome. A photo booth and photographers and food. Like, wow. And I love the connection that people can really look within themselves and share. And it's almost like you're leaving a bit of yourself there, or letting go of something that it is that you want to share and let go of, right?
Absolutely, because that's what the book is about. So when people have been asking me why, they're like, why are you writing your story? Right? The people that know a lot of it are like, oh shit, girl, like this is vulnerability at its finest. We can't believe you're actually doing this. But for a lot of people, they're like, thank you. And the few that have read it through the editing process are like, I've never felt so empowered to heal my life. I've never felt so encouraged. But the other ones that have read it are like, I get it now. I finally understand parts of my own journey, parts of why I think the way I do, or I feel the way I do, or I react the way I do. But I also now understand my coworker, my friend, my spouse, my family member who's been through that issue.
That's
right.
awesome.
So when I talk about the brain aneurysm and what went down and how, you know, you come out of it feeling broken and you've lost your identity and, you know, all of the things that have changed, right? One of the guys that read it, I was out for lunch with him yesterday and he was like, can I just do something? And I went, what? And he like reached over and he touched the fabric on the sweater I was wearing. And I started laughing and I was like, what are you doing? And he goes, I read the chapter where it talks about how much pain you're in all the time because of skin nerve endings. He's like, and he goes, I'll be honest. He goes, I've noticed that you're always really casual and comfy. And even when you wear dresses, they're like specific fabrics. He's like, you don't wear structured clothes. And I was like, never. And he goes, I heard someone comment on it one day that you should be more professional. And I was like, okay. He goes, and I couldn't figure it out. He goes, and then I read that chapter and I was like, well, no doubt. She hurts all the time. She has to have certain fabrics, right? But we had this conversation and he's like, oh my gosh. And then he started like, his brain started going and he goes, who else has this issue? And I was like, I don't know. He goes, you must have the nicest couches. And like, what kind of interior of your car? Because you can't just set your arms on something crunchy and uncomfortable, right? But then we're having these conversations and he's like, one of my kids struggles with skin sensitivity. He goes, I had no idea that's what it felt like. And these are the things that bother him, right? So even something so minor as that little piece of like a chapter, like it was probably like 3 paragraphs, if that, talking about that huge issue, right? But it's still something so tiny that made a difference in some kid's life because now his parents are going to get him different.
Right? Wow. That's inspirational. It's true.
That's what I want.
And you don't think of that when you're going through those for yourself. You know, like for myself sitting in a wheelchair, my nerve endings are so painful. I only wear like stretchy pants now because those feel good on my legs and they're not tight. And so, you know, when you go to events and all those kinds of things, everyone's all dressed up and I'm not.
No, right? Yeah, right. Because girl, I get it. right? Because I live in a state, and this is how I describe it to people, and you can totally use this, is, you know, when you have a really bad cold or a flu and you can feel every nerve ending in your entire body and your skin just aches and you just want to lay around naked, but you're cold so you can't, and everything hurts. And they go, oh, I was like, yeah, that's the state I live in probably 75% of my life.
Yeah.
Right?
I
But
get it. Mm.
people don't think of that stuff. They don't. And so I'm like, yeah, I wear comfy jeans. Yeah, it's a full dress if it's a dress. No, I don't wear heels. Who do you think I am? Right?
That's so unrealistic. So
Right.
anybody listening, you know, if this inspires you, her book is coming out, and I'm so stoked to read it. I'm excited to make arrangements so we could be there on that day. If you're around the Edmonton area and you'd like to pop out and learn more information, Dawn, would you like to share your email or your webpage address, or where they can log on to find more information about you and the events? And
yeah, absolutely. So right now it'll be easiest to find like event details probably on Facebook, because my website girl's on holidays because it's August and that's what people do. And that's okay. But hello at the, like, HELLO at the Taylor Way. So TAYLOR way.ca is my website, or is my email, sorry. And so anyone can reach out to me directly there. I love to chat with people. On Facebook, The Taylor Way or Dawn Taylor. LinkedIn, Dawn Taylor. Instagram, The Taylor Way Now. I'm kind of all over the place under The Taylor Way.
sounds good. Well, I thank you. Is there one thing you've shared so much today? Is there one tidbit of information that someone's like, but Dawn, I'm sitting in this place. It's really, I don't know how to move from where I am to where I want to be. I'm so scared and fearful. You know, what do we do?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you two actually, because I am a junkie who loves to give away all of my info. Number one, and like we were talking earlier, is face the what if. So people always look at the what if and they get scared, right? I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. What if something bad happens? What if? So what if? What if something bad does happen? What if nobody shows up, right? What if you go through 10 therapists or 10 psychologists before you find the one that actually triggers you in the right way to get the help? What is the worst case scenario? If you can face that and create an action plan around it, right? I jokingly, like we were talking before the call started, of, you know, I'm planning this big, huge event and it's like a wedding and it's laughable to me. And someone made the comment, they're like, Dawn, what if nobody shows up? And I was like, awesome. I'm going to renew my wedding vows with my husband. We'll just turn this into a wedding. As long as there's two of us there, we'll have beautiful photos and flowers for days around the house, right? Like, when you can face the worst case scenario and it doesn't kill you, and you realize it's not going to kill you and it's not going to destroy you, and you have a backup plan for it, all of a sudden there's less fear, because it takes the power away. It's the unknown that takes away your power, right? It's the unknown that makes us so scared. So if you can actually just follow things through to their natural completion. So take your situation. If I don't heal, if I don't take these steps, if I don't reach out and get help, where am I going to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Right? And follow that through. Okay, not looking too good. So what if I talk to this person? What if this works? What is my life going to look like? What if it doesn't? What is the worst case scenario? You wasted a couple $100, right? You talk to someone, you were like, wow, that was a dud. You move on to the next person, right? All of a sudden it's not as scary because you've actually faced it. You've faced that end zone and been like, I think I could actually take that on. I'm strong enough to deal with that, right? And the second piece of that I talk to clients about all the time is you only need 3 things to get anything and everything you want in your entire life. 1, tiny piece of determination. I'm not talking massive. I am talking like that glimmer, little itty bitty baby piece of determination that you have inside of you. No shame and one tiny action. That's it.
Brilliant.
That's it. You have to do those 3 things over and over and over and over and over and get anything and everything you want in life.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. It's what's gotten me so much in my world, because I face all of the worst case scenarios, and then I go, okay, one bit of determination. No shame. Because let's be honest, we live in the most self-absorbed world on the planet. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at you. They don't have time to judge. They're too busy paying attention to themselves.
And judging themselves, right?
Oh, 100%. I always laugh. I'm like, you're not judging me. You're judging yourself over something I triggered in you.
Yeah.
That's it. We're just so self-absorbed, we think that they're thinking about us.
That's because we're judging ourselves, and so everybody must be doing the same, right?
100%. And when we realize that actually at the end of the day, no one cares, it's so freeing. It's so freeing, right? And then one little tiny degree, one little tiny step, right? You want to write a book? Grab pen and paper and write 5 words. Write the end and close it. You just finished a book,
right?
It's not rocket science. You want to write a longer book? Write 10 words, right? Like, I know this sounds crazy, but if that's what it takes, is just that little glimmer, right? That just like, I just wrote a really good paragraph. Guess what? A book is just a lot of really good paragraphs.
Yep.
All of a sudden it becomes less scary.
Very true. Very true. Well, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You are always so enjoyable to hang out with, and we laugh all the time. And
all the time.
I'm so grateful to really have spent this time with you, and to have the opportunity to share this segment with so many other people that are looking to just laugh and to look at life from a different perspective. So thank you so much, Dawn. I thank the divas that are listening and our listeners out there. Thank you so much. And please look her up. Find out more about this incredible woman. And if you feel compelled to have her in your life as a coach, as someone to guide you in different inspirations, please reach out to her. And she really, through her experience, could change your life. Or provide you with the tools to change your own life, because really we're the only ones that can change our lives. But if we follow tools and suggestions other people give, right, then that helps.
Be the superhero in your own rescue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. So take care, everybody. This is Amanda and Dawn, and we will talk to you soon. Bye for now.